Good day, everyone. So, I will report the evolution of art. The evolution of art is a branch of a generative art in which the artist does not allow work of constructing the artwork, but rather leads a system to the construction and involuntary art. Initially generated art is a put through an inherited process of selection and modification to arrive at final product where it's a artist who selective agent. The Upper Paleolithic Age of Man. The Upper Paleolithic, ca 4,000 to 10,000 years BP, was a period of great transition in the world. The Neanderthals is a Europe became edged out the disappeared by 30,000 years ago, and modern humans began to have the world to themselves. Neolithic era. Neolithic era is a new stone age is a term used for the period in our in our past when the shift from hunting and gathering wild animals and plants and farming lifestyle occurred was also time when pottery first used and in many region people also began to live permanent settlement. Bronze Age. Bronze Age was third phase in the development of material culture. It following a Paleolithic Old Stone Age, a Neolithic versus a New Stone Age. The Bronze Age marked the first time humans start to work with metal. In this period, humans mix copper with tins and zinc to produce an alloy called bronze. Hieroglyphics. The hieroglyphy literally means scared carvings. The Egyptian first used exclusive for encryption carved painted to temple wall. This form of pictorial writing was also used on thumb sheet of papyrus was postured and fragment of limestone. Age of Idealism. Classical Greek of Idealism was a style of that was present in almost in Greek. So idealized statues were sculpted to that human figure of world I look perfect. The Greeks would use a promotion between different parts of the body to try to make the statue look flawless. Flawless. Hellenic era. Hellenistic art is the art of Hellenistic period generally taken to begin with the date of Alexander the Great in 320 BC and in which the conquest of the Greek world by the Roman of Francis well underway by 146 BCE when the Greek mainland one take and essentially ending in 30 BC with the conquest of Ptolemy. Middle Age. Through a Middle Age, neither big nor in neatly and any particular date is a historian generally classically middle art into the following periods. Early medieval art is Romanesque art and Gothic art. Renaissance. Renaissance. Initiation by Leonardo da Vinci. Andres Vesalius. Andreas Vesalius. Andreas Vesalius was a 16th century anatomist, physician, and author of one of the most influential books on human anatomy, the Humani or Corpus Fabricalibre system. Baliso of often referred to as the founder of modern human anatomy. He was born in Brussels, which was a part of the Habsburg Netherlands. Leonardo Leonardo da Vinci was an Italian polymath of higher re- Renaissance who was active as a painter, draftsman, engineer, scientist, theorist, sculptor, and architect. Albrecht Dürer. Albrecht Dürer, sometimes spelled in English as Dürer or Dürer, was a German painter, printmaker, and theorist of the German Renaissance, born in Nuremberg. Dürer established his reputation and influence across Europe in his 20s due to his high-quality woodcut prints. Humanism. Art definition can be described as a art the early and high Renaissance periods influenced and informed by the prevalent humanistic ideals of time. Many artists during this inspiration analyzed from texts by classical writers and philosophers. Baroque. Baroque art and architecture, the visual arts, and the building design construction product during the era. In this history, Western art that really coincide with a 17th century, the earliest manifestation which occurred initially date from the later decades of a 16th century. While in some region, notably Germany and colonial South America, certain culminating achievements of Baroque did not occur until 18th century. Neoclassical. Neoclassical in the arts is an aesthetic attitude based on the art of Greece, of Rome in antiquity, which invokes harmony, clarity, restraint, university, and idealism. So, romantic attitude, our intellectual orientation that characterize many works of literature, painting, music, architecture, criticism, and historiography in Western civilization over period from the late 18th to 19th century. Impressionism is a 19th century art movement characterized by relatively small, then yet visible brush stroke. Open composition emphasizes on accurate depiction of light and its changing qualities, often accentuating the effects of passage time, ordinary subject matter, use visual angles, and inclusion of movements as crucial element of human perception and experience. Japanese art, okay. Ukiyo often translated as a picture of the floating world refers a Japanese painting and a wood black print originally effective the cities. Art Nubio. Art Nubio is an international style of art, architecture, and applied art, especially the decorative arts known in different languages by different names. Expressionism refers to art which the image or reality is distorted in order to make expressive of the artist's inner feelings or ideas. Abstract expressionism, the sorrow of the king. Fog businessism, woman with a hat. Style of painting that flourished in the France around the turn of 20th century. Artists of use pure brilliant color aggressively applied straight from the pen tube. Surrealism. Surrealism movement in the visual art and literature flourishing in Europe between World War and One Two. Surrealism grew up principally out of the war. I produce work of anti-art that deliberately defied reason, but surrealism emphasis was negative but on positive expression. Cubism. Early 20th century avant-garde are art movement that revolutionized European painting and sculpture and inspired related movements in music, literature, and architecture. Pop art. Pop art is a movement that emerged in the United Kingdom and the United States during the mid to late 1950s. The movement presented a challenge through tradition of fine art, including imagery from popular and mass culture. Dadaism as a work movement, how are Dada art provide to one of the revolutionary art movements in the early 20th century, initially conceived a loose-born avant-garde model in the prelude to World War One, but adapted more fully in its wake. Realism style. Arts generally attempt to represent subject matter truly fully without artificiality and avoiding speculative fiction and supernatural elements. Art installation. Installation is a art is an artistic genre of three-dimensional works that are often site, site-specific and designed to transform the perception of space. Photography. The definition of photography art, also known as a kind of photography, is photographic artworks that are created in line with this artist's vision. The artwork uses photography as the artist's choosing medium of creativity expression. 3D renders. 3D renders is a computer graphics process the use of three-dimensional data on models. The goal is create to lifelike or non-photorealistic image. 3D models are a digital file of an objective created using software or through 3D scanning. 3D rendering is also form of virtual photography. So that's all everyone. Thank you.